All right, Shalom, Israel. You're on live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer Ball holding down the class here in Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes here in Memphis for so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. You brothers and sisters tuning in, you got any family, loved ones, people you care about in Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with us here in the ISUPK. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. All right. With that said, every Tuesday is a brotherhood class. Wednesday is biblical law. Thursday is scripture breakdown. All right. Tonight is Wednesday. It's a biblical law class. I actually hadn't come up with a topic or a title for tonight's class. So as we prepare to get into tonight's class, if there are any brothers and sisters out there who have questions, all you got to do is type them in online. If you're in the classroom, all you got to do is raise your hand if you have a question. All right. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to get some questions together. And if we don't have any questions, we're just going to go ahead and dive into the scriptures. All right. And see where the Most High leads us tonight. All right. All right. All right. So I just shared the class. Like I said, if any brothers and sisters have any questions, all you got to do is type them in. Doesn't matter when, at what point in the class you get to type in your questions, just type them in. All right. I'm ask y'all to excuse me. I'm saying I got my little Dixie cup drink, man. I'll be, you know what I'm saying, sipping on my little soda throughout the class. Where do we want to go tonight, man? You know what I'm saying, in the earth today, there's a whole lot that's going on. We see, you know, the unrest in America, dealing with the elections, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the result of Donald Trump being elected. You know, we're seeing the fight, you know, to maintain power. A lot of brothers and sisters are afraid, you know what I'm saying, with the coronavirus going around and, you know, the unsurety of, you know, food being on the shelves at the stores and all of these different things that are transpiring. For those of us who are in the truth, it's important that we know and understand that the Most High is the one behind all these things. And if you know that the Most High is the one that's behind all these things, if you are on his side, if you are obeying him, if you are lining up your life with his will, you mean, which is literally obeying him and doing what he said to do, and the Most High will lead and guide you through these troubling times. Beautiful thing about the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge is that we are able to understand and know the Most High, not because of a feeling or not because of an emotion, you know, not because of, you know, some fairy tale good luck, I got Jesus on my side, you know, I'm covered by the blood of Jesus way. But we are able to know the Most High and intricately understand the way that he, not understand the way he works, but we're able to see that he's working because of our knowledge of him through the scriptures. You know, the powerful thing about having the Bible and understanding the Bible is that the Bible covers all situations and circumstances that can arise in your life. You understand? The Lord had the Bible to be written so that in dark times, in troubling times, in times of unsurety, we could go and read about brothers and sisters who were unsure. We can go and read about brothers and sisters who face troubling times. We can go read about brothers and sisters who lived during, you know, some of the most difficult and unbelievably, unimaginably difficult situations, and how their trust in the Most High and staying obedient to him allowed them to persevere. You know, the thing that the truth has enabled all of us to attain is something the Christian church could never give us, in that, you know, because of knowledge of what the Most High requires of us, because we understand that the Most High requires us to be obedient, we can see ourselves as Daniel in the lion's den. So Daniel in the lion's den used to be some fairy tale story where, yeah, man, this cat, man, some evil people threw him in a hole in the ground, and there was some lions in there, and God kept the lions' mouths closed. I remember being a child hearing the story of Daniel in the lion's den and imagining that the lion's jaws were shut, that God with some magical power made the lion's jaws not be able to open. And I pictured Daniel in the lion's den and the lions just in there and not being able to open their mouths because God's power held their mouths closed. When I came into the truth and understood who Daniel was, understood that this was a brother. Matter of fact, let's go into that. Let's go into the book of Daniel. Matter of fact, this is what we're going to do for the next class if nobody has any questions. We're going to go into some of these miracles in the Bible, some of these miraculous stories that we've heard, and show you that it wasn't some unbelievable magical power of God, but it was the character of these men and women. It was who they were and their obedience to the Most High and them submitting their lives to him and living their lives for him that protected them in their tough times, that gave them the ability to not suffer. You understand? It wasn't some magical power from God that, we don't know how Daniel was able to stay alive in this den. We don't know how, Daniel wasn't eating. We know how Daniel wasn't eating because Daniel was a man that obeyed the Most High. And in Daniel obeying the Most High, Daniel went in that den, maybe afraid, maybe not sure what was going to happen, but knowing I've lived my life serving God. I've lived my life obeying the Most High. And I'm in this den because of obeying the Most High. I'm in this den because the people who can't do what I'm doing, the people who refuse to obey God, they want to see me destroyed. And so, hey, if it's the Lord's will that I be destroyed in this den, I'll be destroyed. But I trust in the Father. I trust in the Most High. And Daniel trusted in the Most High, and he went into that lion's den, and them lions didn't even acknowledge that. It was damn near they hungry, but this cat ain't food. This cat ain't to be eaten. Them lions was in there, growling, yawning, licking themselves, and doing whatever the hell lions do. But the option to eat Daniel wasn't on the table because this was a man that was protected by the Most High. And it's not some magical thing that's difficult to understand. When you come into the truth and you learn that the Most High, the creator of the heavens and the universe, is a father. You know what I'm saying? Not only is he a father, he's a militant father. He's a strong father. He's a man of war. You get to understand who the Most High is and what pleases him, what he's satisfied with from us, then you can see yourself living a life where you will please your Father. And because you please him, he got the power over everything. He'll never let nothing happen to you. So if you're afraid of the coronavirus and you're afraid of the transition of power in America and you're afraid of the vaccine, man, trust the Most High. You better start getting your life in line with the Most High. You afraid of these things, you should be afraid. But if you serve God, if you obey God, what you got to be afraid of? If God is the one in control of everything, all you got to do is be on his side. Right now, if whoever you are, however you're living your life, you see that a line is being drawn in the sand. You see that there's sides that are being chosen in every walk of life, every way of life. This damn near, you can't be neutral no more in the earth. You can't, you can't. You got to be Democratic or Republican. You got to be conservative or liberal. Hell, if you choose to be neither, that's choosing a side as well. Because if you're not choosing to be a Democrat or a Republican, then you choosing to be against both of them. I mean, you can't be on the fence of whether or not a person is born gay. You either got to believe that people born gay, or you got to believe, or you look at gayness like, listen, man, you chose that for yourself. You chose to put a penis in your mouth, or a woman and play with sexual toys and things like that. But you can't be, I don't really care if you're gay, because if you're a person that don't care about gayness, then gayness is going to gobble you up. Gayness is going to, consume you and your family. You can't be on the fence about, anything. So because you can't be on the fence, you better find your way to choosing the Lord's side. Because everything, the Most High is on this side, and everything else is over here. Democrat, Republican, gay, transgender, pro-life, pro-life is over here on the Lord's side, but pro-abortion, whatever the case may be, you can't be neutral in this society. And the Lord is making it that way. He's lining this world up so that everybody is forced to choose a side. Well, thanks to the Most High in Christ for the ISUPK, because we have been given the keys to understanding why the Lord's side is the only one to choose. And we're going to understand that here by reading about Daniel and the lion's den. You understand? We're going to read about Daniel and the lion's den. I think of some other miracles. If y'all got some stories that y'all want me to break down, let me know. If there's some stories in the Bible, you know what I mean, that you always was, you know, taught about as a child, but you never really understood them as an adult, go ahead and bring them out. And let's go and read these stories for ourselves and see exactly what was going on to make the Most High cause these things to come to pass. All right. All right. Let me see something. Hold up. All right, hold on. All right, let me get Daniel. No, that's not it. Hold on. All right, this is Daniel chapter 6. All right. Daniel chapter 6 is where we're going to get Daniel and the lion's den. All right. See something? All right, so we're gonna read all the way down to Daniel, the 6th chapter, okay? So we're gonna get the story of Daniel and the lion's den. The sister Waraka asked us Revelation 3 and 15, a precept. Let's get Revelation 3 and 15 right quick. See what the sisters alluding to. Let me get it. All right, Revelations, this is 2, Revelations chapter 3, verse 15. It says, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou were cold or hot. Because this is a perfect precept in that the Lord is aligning things in the earth for everybody to pick a side. You either going to be cold, which is you against the Lord, or you're going to be hot, which is you on the Lord's side. But it's damn near becoming impossible for you to remain neutral. You understand? And for those of us that have chosen the Lord's side, this ain't the first time in history that men and women had to choose the Lord's side. Literally, when we're about to read in Daniel, Daniel was given a choice on which side he was going to choose. And we're going to read about the consequences and repercussions of Daniel choosing to side with the Lord. This is Daniel, the 6th chapter. All right, it says, it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom. So King Darius was a ruler over Persia at the time. And King Darius chose 20 men to be his governors, 20 men to rule over his empire that would report to him. Verse 2, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. So there were 3 presidents that were above the 20 governors or the 20 princes. Daniel was the head of those 3 presidents. You understand? So it's Daniel, 2 other men who are responsible for the 20 princes who all report back to King Darius. Verse 3, then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him. And the king thought to set him over the whole realm. What is this excellent spirit that was in Daniel? Let's go to Proverbs 3 and 35 real quick. Proverbs 3 and 35 is a precept, all right? Let's get it. Proverbs 3. Okay, it can't be Proverbs 3 and 35. Hold up. Oh, no, it can be Proverbs 3 and 35. Proverbs 3 and 35 says, the wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. Daniel had wisdom. Meaning what? Daniel was a cat that was well skilled in leadership. Daniel was a cat that was equipped to be in government. Was equipped, you know what I'm saying, for solving problems and handling large scale operations. Daniel had wisdom and diplomacy. Daniel was a cat who was an excellent, you know, cat to be the representative of something, to be in charge. King Darius recognized the gift that Daniel was given and wanted to put Daniel in charge of everything. Verse 4, then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. Daniel was a brother that conducted himself in a way where you couldn't You couldn't knock this cat. You had to just acknowledge and recognize, man, he's better. He got a gift at this and that. Ain't nothing we can do to even talk bad on his name. Some brothers have that gift. Some brothers have that gift of just being good at everything. Always on time, always, poignant, always, ready and available, dependable, reliable. You understand? The UPK breeds those types of men. We take brothers out of the gutter, out of the ghetto, who the world threw away and cast away, and find in them that they got the gift that Daniel had. And this is an amazing, beautiful thing. Because a lot of us, man, we weren't fit for that world. We weren't fit to conform to this society that our oppressor has established. But when we came into the truth, man, we were perfect for this here. But Daniel was a brother who was perfect for this here, and he was a brother that was perfect to do that thing in the world too. Daniel was a cat, go to college, get 3 degrees, get a master's degree, go and work on some big project to help the government, help solve some humanitarian crisis. This was the type of cat that Daniel was, and men hated him for it. They were jealous over Daniel's ability. Verse 5, then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of this God. They said, this cat Daniel's so perfect, we're going to have to find a way to use his God against him. And understand that we are living in times where this society is going to realize that there are blacks and Latinos and Native Indians who you can't touch, who you can't say anything bad about. And what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to find fault with us because of the law of our God. Right now, they trying to come out with this vaccine. They're trying to eliminate religious exemption. You know what I'm saying? You listen, they try to eliminate religious exemption so that you have to take the vaccine. You brothers and sisters out there, don't be afraid of a goddamn vaccine. Don't be afraid, of them passing laws to make you do different things. Just know that if you serve the Lord and you standing with the Most High, if you're afraid of taking a goddamn flu shot, then the Lord will make a way for you not to take a flu shot. And if you're in a position where you got to take a flu shot, the Lord will protect you from whatever they try to put in that shot to bring harm to you. The Lord will be with you and protect you. You understand? But reading on, these men plotted against Daniel to find fault with him by using his God. Verse 6, then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said thus unto him, King Darius live forever. Verse 7, all the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. So they come to the ruler, like, they disguise their hate for Daniel in praise for the man who was in charge. In today's world, we got words for that, brown nosing. You understand? Or something like that. Like these cats plotted against Daniel by going to the king and pretending that they love the king so much they wanted to do something special for the king. They wanted to make a law where no man could pray for 30 days. Because the king was so great and the king is so mighty and the king is God, he's our God. No man should pray to anybody, to any deity, any being, because the king is here. Why you got to pray when God is right here with us? You understand? Listen, for years, politicians and people in power have been using religion to manipulate people. They've been using belief to manipulate people. The beautiful thing about the truth is, because we get to understand the Bible and read the scriptures for ourselves, nobody can manipulate us with religion. Nobody can manipulate us with belief. You understand? Now, in the truth, can we use the truth to make people afraid? To put fear in people? Yes. That is what the truth is about. The truth is about you should be afraid. You should be definitely afraid of God because God will destroy you. And what do we get for telling people that they should fear God? What is our reward? What is it for us for you to fear the Most High? A kingdom, rulership? I remember some people, because of the church, because of the people have been paying tithes to the church their whole life. They see their pastor get rich and drive a Rolls Royce. They see the church getting all this money and expanding their land, but then when their grandmother's house get foreclosed on, the church ain't got no money. When their grandmother gets sick and got hospital bills, the church ain't got no money. When you brothers and sisters coming into the truth, I don't give a damn what the church did to you or what bad feelings you got about paying tithes. You better take your 10% and pay it to the ISUPK. You better take your 10% and give it to the men of the Lord. Because the money that we receive for doing this work of the Most High, it doesn't go to get nobody no big, no fancy car. It don't go to get nobody no big house. Why? Because the Lord gave rules to the men who took tithes. The Lord gave parameters, you understand, to the priests for what they're supposed to do with the people's money that is the Lord's. And we teach the truth, and the truth should make you afraid of disobeying the Most High. But we don't teach the truth for godly gain. We don't teach the truth for money. We don't teach the truth to make sure that we get to line our pockets. You understand? We teach the truth because the only way we're going to have a kingdom is if we obey the Lord. The only way we're going to rule is if we obey the Lord. And the consequences of disobeying are right in front of us. You understand? But in Christianity, they use your lack of understanding of the Bible to manipulate you. Use your lack of understanding of God to force you to go out there and vote, to allow you to allow homosexuality and allow your woman to be a hoe and allow, you know what I'm saying, for all manner of unboundable, disgusting things that violate the Most High's laws. And here we teach the truth. But thousands of years ago during the Persian Empire, they used religion to manipulate the people in order to get this brother named Daniel jammed up. We're going to keep reading. Verse 8, now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Verse 10, now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being opened in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime. Daniel saw that this decree was passed, saw that a law was made that you could not pray or give any acknowledgement of a higher power than the king. Daniel said, well, to hell with that, man. I'm going to do what I always do. Daniel had him an office, a prestigious office on a balcony out with the door windows open. There's a terrace out facing the east. But Daniel could look out in the morning and see the sun rise, and Daniel get up in the morning. Daniel hit his knees and he prayed. Daniel go out, do his business, take care of some responsibilities. Lunchtime come, Daniel come in, hit his knees and pray. Daniel get up, go out, handle his business, do what he got to do. He come back at the end of the night. Daniel hit his knees and he would pray. And they knew this about Daniel, which is why they went to have this law passed. Now, for those of you brothers and sisters out there, you may be wondering, why was Daniel praying 3 times a day? What was the point? You understand? There's no law about praying 3 times a day. There's no rules. And Christ in the New Testament said to avoid vain repetitions, avoid going out there and publicly praying, you know what I'm saying, and making a show of your service to God. But understand this about Daniel. Daniel was a brother who knew the power of praying, knew the power of putting things in the Most High's hands. Praying to Daniel helped him to be able to do what it is that the Lord gave him the strength to do in the world. And for some of you brothers and sisters, maybe praying 1 time a day ain't enough. Maybe you pray in the morning, you feel good, man. Give you some time to reflect and think about the Most High. And you go out into the world, you go sit in that traffic, and 10 minutes in the traffic, your whole day wrong. You want to cuss everybody out, kill somebody because you're running late, ain't eating no breakfast, you cranky as hell. And you go out there, you hitting that traffic, your whole day messed up. Hell, maybe you need to take some time to pray during the day. Maybe that prayer in the morning ain't enough. Maybe you should, you know what I'm saying, you pray in the morning, go through the hell and the stress and the struggle of getting to work and dealing with your slavery and dealing with the people there. Maybe you should take some time to pray in the midday. Just pray and ask the Lord to give you strength and to be with you and to help you get through what it is you're going through. Give you the strength, you know what I'm saying? Give you the discipline, give you the focus. You understand? Maybe you should put more things in your life in the Lord's hands, and maybe it could bring you more peace. You understand? When Daniel was a brother, he did that 3 times a day, man. He prayed in the morning, prayed in the midday, he prayed at night. They passed this law, no man could acknowledge or honor any God or any other power than the king. Daniel said, to hell with that. I'm going to honor the Most High. I'm going to pray to the Most High. Why? Because Daniel needed to honor and pray to the Most High. Hell, who knows what evil he was seeing and what evil he was dealing with and how many demons was attacking him on his goddamn job. You think Daniel didn't know that these cats was jealous of him and hating him? Every decision being made, every conversation had, somebody trying to find a way to jam him up. Took a lot of strength to do what Daniel did. Took a lot of discipline to live the life Daniel lived. Took a lot of focus. And Daniel knew that praying helped him to stay focused. Praying helped him to stay disciplined. Maybe some of us need to take a tip from Daniel. Start adding more prayer into our lives in order to help us to be able to deal with the things that we deal with on a daily basis. All right. Reading on. Daniel chapter 6, verse 11. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. When they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree, hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true according to the law of Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with Daniel, and displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Meaning the king was wrought. He was angry at himself, but also angry at Daniel. Why angry at himself? Angry at himself because he passed this goofy ass law and forgot about the God of Daniel, and forgot about brothers like Daniel who were diligent and wise and perfect in every way, but would not acknowledge the king over the Most High. He stressed over how he was going to deal with Daniel and how he was going to go about punishing this brother. See, the Most High challenges every man with their ego, challenges every person with the thought of who they are, and whether or not what they say or what they want or what they think is right is more important than what the Most High says. This king was why he was powerful over everything, had dominion and rulership over all. And these men used his ego against him and his brother Daniel. But this king stressed over that ego, stressed over, man, I got to punish this cat for doing something that was right, praying to his God and honoring his God. But how the hell am I going to deal with this? You understand? Reading on. Then, Salaki, this is verse 14. Then, Salaki, verse 15. Then these men assembled unto the king and said unto the king, know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statutes which the king established may be changed. Now, not only was they use his ego against him, now they're using tradition and say, listen, king, you know that the laws say whatever the laws say, man. Can't no king change it. You can't break tradition, man. You can't go against all the years of, you know, of rightness that this society and this culture has established. See, the Lord knows how to try any man and every man. And this king, even though he wasn't righteous, man, even though he wasn't somebody who the Lord, it wasn't of the 12 tribes of Israel, the Most High still dealt with him on his ego, still dealt with him on trying him. You understand? If you got a mind to understand the Lord and understand how things work spiritually, you can imagine Satan pleading with the Lord to destroy Daniel. And the Lord saying, Daniel not going to fold, man. Daniel not going to bend. And Satan going to the Lord saying, no sweat. Let me have a shot at it. And the Lord said, all right, go ahead. And Satan going to get demons to go to these men who hate Daniel, to plot against Daniel, to come up with this whole thing. All of this is Satan trying Daniel, but Satan is using the men that hate Daniel. Satan is using this king and his ego. You understand? Satan is using the tradition and the laws of the Persians and the Medes. All these things Satan is lining up just to test Daniel, to show the Lord this cat ain't all he say he is. When you understand the lengths that, you know, that the lengths that Satan will go to try you in standing with the Lord, you have got to understand that you standing with the Lord is the most important thing on the earth. You standing with the Lord is the most important thing, you know, in any, you know, it's the magnitude of serving the Lord is, sometimes you can't wrap your mind around it. You might think it's a small thing. You might think it's something little, man. But serving the Lord is everything. And we seeing it here with Daniel, that Satan was willing to topple an entire kingdom and its infrastructure and hierarchy in order to get at Daniel. But let's keep reading. Verse 16, then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, thy God whom thou servest continually, will deliver thee. Now why did the king tell Daniel that his God would deliver him? If the king, you know, was mad about this law being broken and was so angry about Daniel disobeying him, why would he encourage Daniel? Why would he say, Daniel, your God gonna deliver thee? Because this king did not want Daniel to go on that lion's den. This king understood these cats hate Daniel. These cats are plotting on Daniel. But even as the king, my hands are tied behind my back because of my ego, because I'm supposed to be the king. My hands are tied behind my back because of the tradition of my elders, because of what the society expects for a king to do. Daniel, man, there's nothing I can do for you. But don't worry, Daniel, your God got you. Well, guess what, y'all? We living in a time now where regardless of who's in power, who's in authority in this place, their hands are tied behind their back. America is going to be what America is going to be. And the future of this society is going to unfold exactly the way that the Most High said it is going to unfold. And guess what? Nothing is going to change that. So guess what we must do? We must trust in the Lord. We must put our faith in the Most High and know that no matter what is going on, the Most High is going to deliver us. The Most High is going to deliver you from whatever thing you fear, whatever thing you're afraid of, whatever anxiety you have. Know that the Most High is going to deliver you. You understand? And there are powers that be that know that the Most High is going to deliver some of us. You understand? But they're going to do what they got to do anyway. They're going to have to come up with a vaccine. They're going to have to roll out trials and know that some people are going to be injured. Who knows? Maybe know some people are going to be injured and hurt by it. Maybe know on purpose that they're trying to kill some people. But guess what? For those of us who serve the Lord, our God will deliver us continually. You understand? Read on. Verse 17, and a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Verse 18, then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. This king loved Daniel, man, and he knew that what was going on was wrong, but there was nothing that he could do. This king fasted. This king, you know, did not eat. And neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. He could not sleep. You understand? You know, praying for this cat, praying for Daniel, worrying about Daniel, wondering what's going on with this cat who I had to put in this den. Verse 19, then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God, is thy God, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My God hath sent his angel and hath shut the lions' mouths, for they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt? Daniel said, listen, an angel came and visited me. And the Lord showed me that the mouths of these lions would be closed. What does that mean? Does it mean the lions' mouths were shut and didn't open? Does it mean that the Lord locked the lions' jaws where they couldn't eat or bite anything? No. The Lord put Daniel in that den, and those lions didn't even see Daniel as food. They just saw Daniel as, something else is in this goddamn den that we in. Something else that's in this cage. You understand? They didn't even pay Daniel no attention. Maybe they walked by. Maybe they sniffed him, looked at him. Hell, who knows? Maybe they laid at his feet for Daniel to purred at his feet for Daniel to rub them like you do a kitty cat. But the Lord made it so that the lions knew, this cat, ignore him. Don't touch him. Don't even acknowledge him. He in there with y'all. He's going to be in there. And it wasn't magic. It wasn't some, it was miraculous. It was a miracle. It was amazing because, damn, you put a cat inside the cage with some lions and lions will eat him up. It wasn't so with Daniel. Daniel was in that cage with them lions chilling. And the king could not get no sleep, stressing over what he had done to Daniel, stressing over how he had been manipulated, stressing over how the men who hated Daniel had tried to set him up to get him destroyed. He came early in the morning and pleaded with Daniel. Daniel said, oh, king, listen, man, don't even stress about it. This wasn't your doing. This stress wasn't on you, man. It's the Lord. But guess what? He got me. Reading on verse 23. Then was the king exceeding glad for him and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him because he believed in his God. Daniel's belief in his God wasn't just some, I accept Jesus into my heart. Daniel's belief in God was that he obeyed the Most High. Daniel's belief in God was that he was able to navigate the society he lived in, and he served the Lord and brought no offense to any man. There's some brothers who have that skill, have that gift, to where you can be in the truth, serving the Lord, and you can work in the U.S. government. You can have you a government job and getting good money, get praised employee of the month. You understand? You get recognized for your good works and your honorable service, be dignified and admired and hated. And guess what? And you still serve the Lord. It takes discipline, it takes focus, man. It takes, faith. And Daniel was a brother that had that. Reading on, verse 24. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their wives. And the lions had the mastery of them, and break all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. The men who conspired against Daniel, they got thrown in the den. And them lions was hungry, man. Them lions went to eat. Them lions went to feast. Them lions went to play with them men and their children and their wives when they got dropped down into that den. Verse 25, then King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom, men tremble in fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and steadfast forever. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who have delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. Everybody understands. Daniel surviving in that lion's den isn't magic. Daniel surviving in that lion's den isn't, isn't something that is unimaginable when you know the truth, when you understand the nature of the Most High and what he requires from us. The Lord is calling us to become like Daniel, causing us to become like other brothers we're going to read about who have stood with the Most High in the darkest times, who stood with the Most High in the face of all odds. And because they stood with the Most High, there was nothing that they had to be afraid of, nothing that they had to humble, nothing that they had to, couldn't overcome by trusting in the Most High. All right. So we're going to drop that. Let me get the brother Zion asked about Joshua 24, verses 14 and 15. Let's go to Joshua. You understand? The key to unlocking the miracles and the power of the Most High is in our obedience. Anything can be done if you serve the Most High. You understand? There's nothing that the Most High will withhold from us if we obey Him. I'm gonna get that next. You understand? But we have to obey Him. And the brothers and sisters could understand that, man. We can realize that the kingdom of heaven is within us. That the kingdom of heaven is something that's not some magical place that's unimaginable, some magical place that we go to when we die. The kingdom of heaven will be right here on earth when we align our lives with the Most High's will and obey Him and do what He called us to do. This is Joshua chapter 24, verse 14. It says, "Now therefore fear the Lord and serve Him in certain sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." That's a perfect scripture, Zion, for water for that, huh? You understand? This is Joshua speaking to the people and letting them know, listen, y'all, you got two choices in life, man. Either you're going to obey the Most High and live, or you're going to disobey the Most High and die. Daniel said, as for me and my house, we're going to obey and serve the Lord. And that is what is needed in these times. That is what the Most High is requiring of us. The Lord ain't requiring of us, to fight the government about a vaccine. The Lord ain't requiring of us to go out in the streets and protest and to get bloodied. You understand? Never in the Bible are you going to see Israelites coming out to protest against the government. And we lived during the time in Egypt, we were being, abused by the Egyptians. Did the Lord have the children of Israel go protest? Did the Lord send the children of Israel out into the street to fight the Egyptians? No. The Lord rose up a prophet, man, by the name of Moses. And the prophet was the man who was responsible with going out and pleading. The prophet was the one that was responsible for dealing with the government, dealing with the powers that be. The Lord ain't calling people to do that. Brothers and sisters, man, live your life and go about your business, man, and surviving and doing what you got to do to make sure you can pay your bills and put food on the table and keep a roof over your head, man. Let us go and do the Lord's business. Let us go and plead with the powers that be. Let us go and plead with the government. Let us go and plead with who's in charge concerning the dealings concerning their dealings with the Lord's people. And guess what? We'll go out there on that street. We'll do our job. We ain't gonna riot. We ain't gonna stop the flow of traffic and stop the government from doing what it got to do. You're gonna let the powers that be the powers that be. But we're gonna call on the Lord to bear witness that the prophets are doing their job, that we are warning the people. You understand? That's all that's required, man. Your fear should be in the Most High. Your fear should not be in man and the things that man can do. Let me get that in the New Testament where our King Christ warned us about that. Let me go ahead and get it. Be with me, hold up. All right, let me get in Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. Again, I thank the Most High for the truth. I thank the Most High for the ISUPK, because in times like these, where the straits can seem so dire, it can be easy to not forget the Most High, but it can be easy to lose focus on what's important. And we're living in times where a lot of people are losing focus on what's important, and we're losing focus on, the things that really matter in life. For a long time, this society has they've propped up an illusion that has caused a lot of people to be lost in the simplicities of life. Life isn't very complicated. Life is simple. You on the earth, you got breath in your lungs, and your heart is pumping blood. Put serving the Most High first. If you put serving the Most High first, everything else will take care of itself. Everything else will fall into place. You ain't got to stress about an education. You ain't got to stress about, what kind of job am I going to get, or how big is my house going to be, or what's my credit score going to amount to. You ain't got to stress about, upgrading your cell phone and getting a new PlayStation, you know what I'm saying, or making sure you got the newest high-tech gadgets and devices in your crib. A lot of the things that we stress about in life are things that are not necessary. A lot of us have we've gotten comfortable with the idea of, advancing and progressing as an American, and we lost sight of what it means to survive. For every generation that has been on the earth, survival has been what life is about. Doing and getting enough to get by day to day. And for many, from damn near every generation on the earth until 50 years ago, surviving was a day-to-day hassle. It was a day-to-day chore. You know what I'm saying? 50 years ago, 60 years ago, brothers and sisters, living for the weekend wasn't the thing that we did. Living for the, getting this check so you can get these new shoes, get these new clothes or take this vacation. That wasn't what life was about. I think back sometimes, man, about my grandfather's generation. My grandfather at 30 years old, man, had his first child. And 10 years later, he had 7 babies. 40 years old, 7 kids. I think that math is right. I think he might have had my youngest uncle when he was maybe 42 or something like that. But when you're 40, you're 30 years old and you have your first child, life is about making sure that these kids eat and making sure that they get clothes on their back and a roof over their head. And that is your primary focus. We're living in 2020, man. And, some people just, life is miserable for them because of all the things they don't have and all the things they can't do and all of the places they can't go see. And, they on the internet and looking at everybody taking vacations and taking trips and living this wonderful life. And we forget that those are luxuries. Nobody's entitled to those things. Nobody's guaranteed that they're going to be able to go and, see Miami Beach. That ain't no promise in life. You're going to get to go to the Caribbean and, stay on a resort in Jamaica for a week. A lot of things in life are luxuries, man. A PlayStation 5, TVs on Black Friday, that's luxuries in life. Hell, 50 years ago, you'll be lucky to have one TV. One black and white TV that sat in the living room. That was it. Your grandfather worked hard for that one black and white TV. And the whole family would eat dinner and gather around that TV and watch whatever goofy show came on. Nowadays, you stressing about getting a new TV on Black Friday, getting a 60-inch, upgrading to 4K. I mean, where are our priorities, man? The Lord is shutting this place down so that we can refocus on what our priorities are. And it is a beautiful thing. Having to going from progressing and trying to have it all in America to, goddamn, how am I going to, feed my family tomorrow? It's healthy for a lot of people. It's bringing a lot of people back to reality, back to the meaning of life. How many of us has lost sight of what matters in life because of the internet, because of our social media presence, and because of the likes? And, there's so much BS that adds stress to our lives that is not even important. It doesn't even matter at the end of the day. And the Lord is plaguing this society and destroying the system so that people can get back to what matters in life, so that people can get back to, how am I going to survive? How am I going to, feed myself? Who cares what clothes you got on, or what name brand or this or that, or what vacation you trying to take? It's healthy for a lot of people that they get back to just surviving. They get back to the realities of life, which a lot of people never stop living that reality. for a lot of people, the reality of their life is they never learned how to progress and advance in society. They never had the mentality of, going, taking trips and going places. They've been struggling. They've been trying to survive. And now the Lord is making that mindset worldwide. He's taking the mindset of surviving, scrounging, striving day to day. You understand? To get just enough to get by. And that's where the Most High requires for a man or a woman to be in their mind in order to really understand why serving him is important. I got Max M asking questions on YouTube. Give me a second, Max, and I'll deal with that. All right, I'll deal with both of your questions. You understand? But we are living in a time where the Most High is making it so that we have to focus on surviving. And in order to survive, we're going to have to depend on him. This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. It says, fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Most High said, you afraid of the system, you afraid of the government, you afraid of some vaccine, you afraid of Donald Trump not passing, not making a healthy transition of power for the Biden administration. What the hell are you afraid of all that for? You afraid of the protests in the streets? I said, what the hell are you afraid of that for? Don't be afraid of the man who can destroy your body. Be afraid of the man that can destroy your body and your soul in hell. Who can do that? The Most High. The Most High not only plague your body, but the Most High will plague your mind. He'll cause you to stress something unimaginable. Cause you to fear something unimaginable. Cause your anxiety to go through the roof, and there be no recourse or no way for you to heal it or make it better. That's who we should be fearing. Not man, we should be fearing the Most High. Everybody understand? Reading on. Verse 29, are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? What is Christ saying? Look at the birds, man. The birds are sold for a penny. 2 sparrows, they cheap as hell, sold for a penny. But guess what? The Most High loves those sparrows, regardless of their cost. Loves those sparrows and does not let no harm come to them. Verse 30, but the very hairs of your head are all numbered. 31, fear ye not, therefore, ye are of more value than many sparrows. The Lord is saying, don't be afraid. You matter to the Most High. You're important to the Most High. Even though this society discards your life and counts you as nothing, God thinks you're special. The Most High created all of us. And guess what? The numbers of our hairs, the hairs on our head are numbered. That's how focused and attention to detail the Most High has over all of us. And you're afraid of the white man? You're afraid of America? You're afraid of, a lack of democracy, the fall of capitalism? Who cares about any of that? Be afraid of the Most High. And what does fear of the Most High cause you to do? It causes you to appease him. It causes you to get on his good side. And how you get on his good side? You obey him. If you obey the Most High, you don't got nothing to worry about. You obey the Most High, you'll be protected. You obey the Most High, you'll be secure. Because obeying the Most High means that no harm can come to you. You understand? Verse 32, whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. How do you confess Christ? You know what I'm saying? But before men, you obey the Most High. You live and keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Max said what? Max, again, that's not correct. I'll deal with that, Max, once I get through with this. All right, hold your peace. If you want to learn something, brother, be quiet. You understand? You wait until you called on. You was in the class, I tell you to raise your hand. But you quoting scriptures and saying what the hell you think is not going to get you addressed and acknowledged. You understand? You asked a question about the 2 covenants. I told you I was going to deal with it. You're going to wait. Be patient, all right? Stop being so impulsive and thinking that you got to say something to get to be heard. You will be ignored that way. You came into this classroom and you want to learn, you wait. You already asked a question. I told you that I will address it. Then you wait. All right. How do you confess Christ before men? Confessing Christ ain't saying I believe in Jesus Christ. I accept Jesus into my heart and soul as my personal Lord and Savior. That's not what the Bible says. You understand? The Bible says confessing Christ is showing everybody that he lives through you. How do I confess that I believe in Christ? I live my life the way he said to live it. I do the things that Christ would do if he was on the earth. That's how I confess Christ. Well, guess what? If you living in this time and you won't obey the Most High, you won't serve the Most High, you won't stand on what's right and what's wrong according to the scriptures, then you deny the Most High. You don't confess him. Confessing Christ ain't saying, oh, I love Jesus and I accept Jesus into my heart and my spirit. That's just you running your goddamn mouth. Confessing Christ is something you do with your actions. I show the earth that Christ has come in the flesh, that I have accepted Christ into my life. How? Because I live my life the way Christ would. Everything Christ taught me to do, I do it. I've accepted Christ into my life. Well, guess what? If somebody says they accepted Jesus, they accepted Christ, and they're not living like him, they're a goddamn liar. The Bible says that. I got to get that next. You say that you love the Most High, you love Christ, but you don't obey him, you're a goddamn liar. And what happens to those who are liars? Verse 33, but whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father, which is in heaven. You deny the Most High, then you deny Christ, Christ is going to deny you. You understand? All right. I'm getting a comment from off of Periscope. Don't hate, spread love. This is a basic rule. Start by removing this thought from your head. Okay, how do you not hate and spread love, Christo? We spread love by teaching you the words of the Most High, by showing you what the Most High said to do. Show me don't hate, spread love in the Bible. Max said, what, man? Man, come on, Max. I'm not even going to acknowledge that. Y'all just running y'all mouth, man. You understand? Sit and pay attention, and you might learn a thing or two about actually serving the Most High. What it means to actually, you understand, give your life to the Most High, to be covered by the old covenant and the new covenant, to be baptized. You understand? A lot of your Christian ideologies, whatever you've gotten them from, you've been deceived and you've been lied to. But in here, we go in the Bible and see what the Most High actually says. All right, let me get 1 John chapter 3. You understand? Confessing Christ has come in the flesh is not something that you do with your mouth, man. Not something that you do with your words. Something that you do with your actions. All right? See something? It's 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. It says, and hereby we do know that we know him. How do we know that we know God? How do we know that we know Christ? If we keep his commandments, if we obey the things that Christ said to do, if we keep the laws that Christ upheld and that he kept, then guess what? We know him. Verse 3, and hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. Verse 4, he that saith, I know him, and keep not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. You can say, I accept Jesus into my life. I'm covered by the blood of the Lamb. All them things that Christians love to say. You understand? I obey the Most High, and I serve the Most High. You understand? And I give my life over to Jesus. They say those things, but then they go celebrate Christmas. They say those things, but then they go eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. They say they love Jesus, but then go be high and be a homosexual and buy prostitutes and go worship other gods. You're lying, and the truth is not in you. Max is typing into the chat right now. The truth is not in you, Max. You are a liar. You don't know the Most High. You don't know Christ. You don't know the Bible. You don't know how to worship the Most High in spirit. Worshiping the Most High in spirit and truth is obeying him. Is doing what he said to do. You celebrate Christmas, Max. You don't love the Most High. You eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, Max. You don't love the Most High. You say you know Christ and you're worshiping in the spirit, but then you go, celebrate Thanksgiving and you celebrate Christmas and you pray that God bless America. Those things are contradictory. They're not in line with the Most High. See, the Bible is very black and white. God is very black and white. There's no gray area. There's no in between. Either you're obeying the Most High and you're serving him, or you're not. Christ was very clear on what this is all about. This is about obeying the Most High. This is about keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. How can you walk in spirit unless you overcome your flesh? If your flesh has you sinning against the Lord, you can't live in the spirit. If your flesh has you disobeying the Most High, you're not living in the spirit. Living in the spirit is overcoming your flesh by doing what God said to do. Living in the spirit is overcoming what your body wants by doing what the Most High said to do. Christians don't understand that. Christians don't know what it is to have faith. Christians don't know what it is to live in the spirit. You do every abominable evil thing that goes against God. You understand? You do every evil, abominable thing that goes against God, and then you say you're covered by the blood. That's not what the Bible says. It's not what the scripture says. You understand? I'm gonna drop. Let me drop that one. Let me get 1 Peter. Get 1 Peter the 4th chapter, I believe. 1 Peter 4. First Peter the 4th chapter. Again, I thank the Most High for the truth that we teach in the ISUPK, because brothers and sisters get to learn to actually read the scriptures, actually understand context and understand what is being said so that they can apply it to their lives. That's why, see ISUPK up here, ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. What does that mean? What we teach, it applies to every aspect of your life. It's for Israelites, and it can be practically applied. It's practical knowledge. It's easy to understand, simple to commit to. Obey the Most High. Do what God said to do. What did God say to do? That's why you got to go into the laws of the Old Testament. That's why you got to go into the words of Christ in the New Testament. That's why you got to read the prophets, to read their instructions to the people about obeying God and doing what God said to do. That's the entire Bible, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, is obey God. Is humble yourself, be righteous, learn righteousness, learn to do good, learn to obey the Most High, learn to honor the Father, learn to live in the Spirit. All of those things translate to obeying his laws. All of those translate to keeping his commandments. You can't get around that. There's no way to please God without keeping his commandments. And you're not going to keep his commandments without faith. You're not going to obey Christ without believing that there's a reward in obedience. There's a reward in submitting myself to the Most High's will. You want to live life your way? No sweat. Good luck with that. But the truth of the Bible is very easy to see and understand. All right, let me get bear with me. I thought it was 1 Peter 3. I thought it was 1 Peter 4. See something. Bear with me. Hold up. 1 John 4:1. I thought it was 1 Peter. It's 1 John 4:1. 1 John 4:1, man. It's the same John who said that obeying the Most High is how you prove that you know him. Keeping his commandments. 1 John chapter, and understand the Bible is so clear. If you're not keeping his commandments, you don't know him. You can't, Christians can't get away from it. You can't get around it. You can't get around it. If a man say that he knows God, he'll keep his commandments. If I see you not keeping the commandments, I see you not obeying the words that are in this book, I know that you are a liar and there's no truth in you. You could post 50 million scriptures. You could say whatever the hell you feel in your heart of hearts. You could believe what you're saying. Doesn't line up with God, though. Doesn't line up with the Bible. The Bible is very clear. Obey the Most High. Keep his commandments. Be a good child and please your father. Other than that, ain't nothing that you can do to even get in the Most High's good graces. Bear with me. First John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit. Don't believe everybody. Somebody comes quoting the Bible, quoting scriptures, don't believe them. Believe not every spirit. But try the spirits, whether they are of God. You got to try somebody. You know what I'm saying? See if, you don't just believe what they say. Make them prove it. Look for some evidence of it. Read on, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. You got to try the spirits because a lot of these people are false prophets. A lot of these people are claiming to be of God and love God and know God, but they are liars. You understand? Verse 24, and he that keepeth his commandments, Verse 2, hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Here's how you know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is of God. How does a person confess that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh? Is this saying, I confess Jesus come in my flesh? Oh, I've accepted Jesus and the good Lord got down to my spirit and my soul and my eyes shed tears and I felt the Holy Ghost come over me. That is not what the Bible is talking about. That is not what it is saying, that every flesh must, that a person must confess that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh. How do you confess that Jesus has come in your flesh? You obey the Lord. You don't smoke cigarettes, smoke weed. You don't be a homosexual or buy prostitutes. You don't have sex with a woman and throw her away. You don't lie. You don't steal. You don't cheat. You understand? You're not dishonorable. You keep the commandments. You don't celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You'll do the things that the Lord said he requires of us. And if you do the things that the Lord said he requires of us, then you confess that you are of God. You confess that you are in line with the will of the Most High. We're living in a time where every spirit gonna have to confess if they of God or not. Everybody gonna have to confess if Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who the world calls Jesus Christ, is come in the flesh. And we'll be able to examine you and see if this is a brother or a sister who Christ is coming to the flesh. This is a brother or a sister who has received the Most High. And if you haven't received the Most High, then guess what? The Lord is going to deal with you. The Lord is going to punish you. The Lord is going to make you afraid. And you should be afraid. Reading on, 1 John 4 and 3. And every spirit that confess not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. It's black and white. If you confess that Christ has come and we see you obeying, hey man, that's a brother or sister that got the Spirit of the Lord on them. But if I see you eating pork, if I see you celebrating Thanksgiving, I see you out there buying Christmas gifts, then what do I know about you? I know that Christ is not come in the flesh. I know that you are not of God. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. You understand? The truth is black and white. What the Most High requires from us is easy to be understood. But you have to have eyes to see and ears to hear to know when the Most High's voice is speaking. You understand? We're living in a time where the Most High is speaking, not only in these classes, but not only with the breakdowns of these scriptures, but the Lord is speaking with the civil unrest. He's speaking with Donald Trump holding back the transition of power. He's speaking with Joe Biden and them trying to rush the rollout of this vaccination. The Most High is speaking with all of the unsurety about the world's economic markets and the government shutting down, and whether or not there's going to be another stimulus, and whether or not the goddamn grocery stores are going to shut down. All of these things are the Most High speaking. All of this is the Lord trying to get our attention. All of this is the Most High letting it be known that you're going to have to choose a side. You're going to have to pick who you're going to serve. You're going to serve me and live. You're going to learn these laws, statutes, and commandments. You're going to learn how to be a man and a woman who obeys me and lives by the Spirit, or you're going to choose your flesh. You're going to choose to serve your oppressor. You're going to choose to serve this society which promotes everything that goes against God. Either way, nobody's going to be able to stand on the fence. Nobody's going to be able to be neutral. The Lord is making it so that every man and woman has to decide if you're going to serve the Lord or you're going to serve your slave master. And if you choose your slave master on that day when the Most High visits the earth, just know that you chose what you chose. Everybody understand? With that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, straight out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, we got rules for new brothers and sisters. New brothers and sisters off limits for 6 months. They are here to learn and shed themselves to the world. You understand? After 6 months, if a brother or sister has a particular interest, you can seek permission from the heads, you know what I'm saying, to talk to a brother or sister. Tithes, which is a commandment, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, bring to the school. You understand? You brothers and sisters out there, have faith in the Most High, trust in the Most High. You might think these times is getting dark and the outlook is looking bleak, but if you stand with the Lord, there's nothing to be afraid of. If you stand with the Most High, there's nothing that He's going to withhold from you. Pay your tithes. Make sure that your 10% is coming into school so that we can make sure that we are in a position that the Most High has put us in to make sure we can feed, house, clothe brothers and sisters as this place, you know what I'm saying, begins to devolve into, you know, a worse and worse state. All right. Upcoming holy convocations. December the 12th is, I forget, the feast of dedication. So like December 10th, I believe, is the feast of dedication, which is a Hanukkah. I gotta get some verification on that. With that, brothers want to be troopers in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Amajim, which means to stand. Give one courtesy salute, men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Barak Atham, or the Most High, bless you in the name of Yahweh Shah. Sar, turn and face the sisters. Give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Alathan, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. The Most High watch over you in the name of Yahweh Shah. Yachamatah, hands down, class dismissed.